we have been working on what's called a conditioned reinforcer today. So a conditioned reinforcer is something that even if you don't have a treat to hand to him immediately, he knows that you're telling him he did a good job for something. In this case, we're using the word yes and pairing it with a food reward. So the point of the word is to mark a specific point in time. So I'll give you an example. Sit, yes. I mark the split second his butt touches the ground. We'll do the same thing. I know you guys are struggling with a DOWN. So I'm holding the treat. He's just sitting here licking it. He can taste it, but he can't actually get to it. Yes. There, his elbows touched the ground, and I gave him, we're going to turn this way. Sit. Yes. We're not introducing that release word until he knows how to do it on cue in the first place. So we've got a little snack. I'm holding it. I'll show you. Hiding it under my thumb so that he can't actually reach it. So I'm going to go from his nose straight down to the ground and then pull out. Yes. The second his elbows touch the ground, that thumb comes off and he gets the reward. Here we go. So that is what's called luring. There are 3 ways that we can teach dogs behaviors. Luring, so guiding him around to different places, into different positions. Yes. From a down, you could even teach him to crawl by doing this, just by pulling it that way. So, with that example, since that was the perfect spot to give the example, if you were to try and teach him how to crawl, the other thing you can mark is when you don't want him to do something. So we have that off that you've already done with Coda, but we can also tell him when he's not going to earn a reward, when he's making a mistake but doesn't necessarily need to be corrected. So that would be like the first time he breaks a command. Or if you were trying to teach him a new command, like having him crawl for standing up, you'd give him the no reward marker, take the reward away so he doesn't get it anymore. And that's what's called negative punishment. There we go. So positive reinforcement, let's break it down. Positive reinforcement is adding something to increase the likelihood of a behavior. Sit. Yes. He is now more likely to do that behavior again because he was rewarded when he did the behavior. Negative reinforcement is the opposite, taking something away to get the behavior more often. Hi. That is typically what we're using with the e-collar. When the e-collar comes away, when we like what he's doing. Yes. There we go. So those other 2 methods for teaching a behavior. The other 2 options we have are called shaping and capturing. Shaping is paying him for approximation, paying him for getting closer to the behavior. And I'll show you what that looks like a little bit more. Actually, we'll use that bed right there. Go ahead and show you what that looks like. Yes. I'm going to pay him every time he gets closer to what I want him to do. Which means he also has to, yes, think. Yes. The more you do this, the more dogs understand shaping behaviors, the more they'll start offering you brand new things and trying to solve problems on their own. Yes. Let's come over here. So the usual way I do this is by luring though. So we can lure him, yes, into a sit, and then give him his reward, yes. We can also praise him for duration. Yes. There we go. The other thing I can use it for is waiting that last couple seconds. What I was doing is I was waiting for eye contact. So waiting for him to look at me instead of looking directly at the tree. Yes. There we go. As we go, that word can be paired with more pets, with toys and other stuff like that. But since food is his biggest reinforcer, that's the one that we're going to use to make the conditioned reinforcer to start. What that lets us do is get much more precise work later. It also, in combination with luring, lets us teach him how to H-E-E-L. Sit. Yes. Ooh. Nice. Here you go. Awesome. He is doing great with it so far and having all kinds of fun. Hi. Yeah, he's so much more interested in the food. So here's the other thing I'm looking for. Yes. Let me wait for him to be off to the side a little bit more again. So this is what we were doing yesterday, is waiting for him to get distracted. Here, let's backtrack. So the very first thing we do to teach the conditioned reinforcer is a bunch of rapid fire ones. 10 or 15, depends on the dog, what they need. And then what you start doing is letting him get distracted in between. Do one, have him go do something else. Yes. I do like that, so I will take it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss this one that way. Watch his ears. Yes. See how his ears and his face kind of perk up and he goes, ooh, hey, I heard that word. That's exactly what we want. I want him, what you want with a conditioned reinforcer is that he gets excited when he hears the word. Dogs have about 1 second in between when they process what you said is rewarding and actually getting a reward. So if I were to tell him he was doing a good job and then wait 5 minutes or even 5 seconds to give him the reward, he doesn't correlate that with the behavior he was just doing. So then you've rewarded him for something different than what you meant to. Yes. Here we go. All right, so we went over luring and shaping. The last one is capturing. And that's where that split second is perfect. So we lured him into that sit. That's great. But how does he know that's the specific thing you want? Obviously, you can reward him, but if you want to be able to reward him for duration and be able to reward him even when you don't have a snack in your hand right in front of him at that exact second, there you go. Now he has this word that he knows means the same thing. He gets excited when he hears it, and it's still paired with the treat afterwards, but it gives you an extra split second and gives you that more pinpoint timing. So capturing is rewarding him for anything that he offers naturally. So shaping, I have a specific goal in mind. Capturing, I'm seeing what he's doing naturally. Like if he sits and lays down, saying, hey, I like that behavior. So the same thing you can do if you were to take him out in public, which is something we're going to do later, obviously. We're going to go sit in front of a store or at a park and work on capturing a neutral attitude. So having people walk past him and have him say, oh, okay, there's people walking by, and not get super excited at every single person. Yes. I like that when you could see part of his ear, so I wanted to show you how fast he's responding. Yes, sir. He's so smart. Are you so smart? Introducing the marker with leash pressure. So we're going to add a little bit of leash pressure and then mark when he lets it off. Yes. Now I have a second since I already taught him the marker. Here we go. Oh, yes, so we're not going to correct him for chewing on a leash just yet. But we are going to try and discourage it. There we go. Yes. So that's something else we can do, is mark when he picks the right behavior. So in that case, I was trying to put the leash pressure off to the side and it was coming in front of his face, so we'll do it like this instead. So we're going off to the side. And we just wait. Just enough leash pressure for 2 fingers. I'm not pulling him. Just okay, so we'll set up again. Yes! He snaps at attention. Beautiful. I dropped one. It's right there. It's right there. There we go. Alright. Then we're going to try and use that leash pressure in every direction. So go that side. Go this side again. Yes! Awesome. How much? Alright, now 5 minutes later, and look at how we are doing now. Okay. We got a bork, but even then, we're following. But more importantly, we're following the pressure. Yes! Beautiful. Keep working on this in between working on other commands over the next couple days, and this will get so strong that it will make loose leash walking super duper easy. Sit. awesome.